So today we're going to talk about the history of the toilet. How did the toilets evolve?
Hello, Tom. I know about your success, about your YouTube channel. I am sure that you are going to be expanding and growing more and more. Saludos, Tomás.
Have you ever wondered what it is like to, taking a shit like 2,000 years ago, or maybe 3,000 years ago, maybe 1,000 years ago? How did the toilet evolve, right? How did we have our modern sanitary system? Well, today I'm going to tell you about that, and it's actually quite a story. Back in, like, say 2,000 or 3,000 years ago, right, there is no such thing as the toilet that we know of, right? Basically, people were hunter-gatherers, right? So they hunt animals, they eat, they live in small communal communities, right? So maybe each settlement, maybe you have 20, 30, 50 people, 100 people, 300 people, maybe. So, having a toilet is really not that big of a deal, because what happens is that in these settlements, they have these waste disposal locations. So there's a place where they put all their waste, right? So if you eat a lot of seafood, you put your garbage into these piles, and so it became natural that people go there to shit and pee, right? So in the ancient times, 2,000, 3,000 years ago, people went to these garbage piles to shit and pee, and that was okay, because again, the settlements were not very big, and people go there to shit and pee. That was okay, that was all right, it was workable. But about 2,000 years ago, the agrarian society evolved. People learned how to grow rice, grow wheat. People got into farming, and that was good because that allowed the population to grow, right? So the advent of farming, the rice, the wheat, allowed the human population to explode, all right? Explode. Human population exploded, and now people cannot just go to the garbage dump and take a crap. It started to get a little bit smelly, right? And then you have all these smells coming out of the garbage dump next to the village. It was not acceptable. So people had to find a solution, and different civilizations had different solutions to this problem. But one of the most innovative is that people basically use the river, all right? People use the river. When you went to the west side of southern Vietnam, right? And you look at the rivers, you look at the canals, well, basically, where do you think the villagers are dumping their crap, right? That's it. People were dumping their crap into the river, right? But they also had another innovation. So that is the first time they come up with an idea that's similar to the modern sanitation system. So basically, you have a river. They divert the river into the home, into the house, and then people take a dump in the diversion water, and the water will flow back to the river, right? So in a way, it's like a flush toilet. Water coming in, you take a dump, and then the water go out. It's the first version of the modern toilet, right? Which I'm sitting on one. I hope you are too, because I assure you that this video is more fun if you're sitting on a toilet, right? All right, so that was the first advent. But the problem is that, sometimes these toilets get clogged, because imagine you have there's a river flowing into the city, right? Let's say Saigon, there's a river flowing through the city. You're Tokyo, there's a river flowing through most cities have a river flowing through it, and there's a reason for it, because it's a way to get rid of the human waste, right? Rivers are useful. It's good for transportation. It's also good for dumping your shit. Sometimes the shit actually gets clogged, right? And when shit gets clogged in the system, it gets smelly, right? So back in Japan, I forgot which period, right? They had to move the capital city from Fujiwara, Fujiwara something, I forgot, but they had to move the capital city from Fujiwara. They were only there for about 16 years, and then they have to move the capital because of this problem, because the river was flowing through the capital city. Here's the imperial palace, the water's flowing through the city, but the shit gets clogged, right? So you have the imperial palace smelling shit from the people upstream. So the emperor is like, fuck this shit. I'm leaving. I'm moving. All right. They moved the entire imperial palace to somewhere else. All right. And when they moved, they got smarter. They know that they have to build the imperial palace upstream so that, you know, they're not like getting all the shit coming down from upstream. Right. So that is a true story. Look it up. And I need a drink. And then, actually, people in the last 1,000 years, you know, shit is actually a valuable commodity because what can you use shit for? Well, you can use shit for fertilizers. You can take the shit, put it into the farm, you will grow better crop, right? You'll grow better rice, better wheat, better fruit, better vegetables. It's a natural fertilizer. So shit was actually valuable. It's not something you just throw away. The next big invention is the collection of shit and pee, right? So people did not want to just throw the shit away. They were actually collecting the shit and selling the shit. This was really big in certain civilizations. People actually build, you know, public toilet to collect people's shit so that they can sell it later to farmers, and it become a very big industry, right? And this was big in many different civilizations, as I just said. Imagine every household is collecting their shit, and then people come pick up the shit and pay the money for it. But of course, we don't do that anymore because we found better ways of, you know, fertilizing our agricultural products, right? We have found better ways to fertilize the field. We understand the chemistry behind, you know, how, you know, plants grow. We don't need that anymore. But back then, you know, shit was a very important commodity. It's used for the fertilization of the land so that they can grow better yield, better crop. So people sold their shit, but cities grew because of industrial revolution, right? Now, industrial revolution, human population continued to grow at exponential rates, right? And also people moved to urban areas. That's what happened with industrial revolution. With modern society, people move into the cities, right? You have these mega cities like Saigon, like Ho Chi Minh City, like Tokyo, like New York. People moved into these big urban centers. Now, you need a better way to treat your shit, because without a proper sanitation system, your city is gonna smell like shit, right? And really, it did. It smelled like shit. You know, if you look back 100 years ago, you know, basically it was not a very good time. If you live in an urban area, it smelled like shit. There was cockroaches and rats, and people were getting sick with cholera and, you know, like all kinds of diseases, right? That's because back then the sanitation system is not good enough. Not like today, you just basically push a button and then you flush the fucking toilet and you don't even know where your shit goes. Back then, you know, that was still a problem, right? In the ancient times, there was no toilet. You just basically go to the garbage dump and took a dump, right? And then, you know, there's the idea of communal toilets. Basically, it's a room with holes and people go there to take a shit. And basically all the shit in the community, in the village, go into a big giant hole, right? That's another toilet idea. The toilet itself has went through multiple, you know, innovations. First, it was just a hole in the ground, and then you have this river water flowing through the toilet and taking the shit out. And then in certain societies, you start building these bowls, right? Or even like a box, you know, a box like this. People basically just pee and shit into a box, and then the servant, the maid, will take the box and whew, throw it away. I don't use this for shit, by the way. This is just like, I'm just showing you what they do in the past. This is not a shit box, I assure you. I don't shit in it, okay? and then let me take a drink. So the toilet went through multiple iterations. They went through many different innovations until the toilet that you know today. So back in the early 1900s, there's an American company called the American Bidet Company. right? And basically, they thought, wiping the butt is really not a good thing. What if there was a water jet coming out of the toilet and washing your butt, all right? Washing your butt. Actually, the idea came from the French, because the French have this thing called bidet. After they take their poop, they go to another thing, which is basically water that you can wash yourself. Like you basically use your hand and then you take the water up and you wash your butt, right? It's supposed to be clean, right? So this American company called American Bidet Company, they decided to invent this new toilet that will shoot water up your ass after you finish pooping, right? Good idea. Except, we're talking about early 1900s, maybe 1937, something like that. So they didn't have all the best technologies. So it did shoot water up their ass, but it wasn't aiming right? So you kind of have to move around like on the toilet to make sure the water hit the right spot. And eventually they had their employees test the product so that they can find the right angle to shoot the water at, so that it will almost always hit your anus, right? That way, you can actually clean your butt. So that was early 1900s by an American company, but the idea did not take off. But however, in Japan, this became a very big thing because they took the idea, they improved on it, and they even had very good marketing campaign, right? So they had TV commercials showing people that, wiping the butt is not effective because you're just spreading the poop everywhere, okay? When you take toilet paper, that's really what the commercial showed, right? You take the toilet paper and you wipe the butt, you're just basically spreading the poop everywhere on your butt, all right? So they show that on the TV commercial, say, why do that? You should wash it with water. So the Japanese improved on this water shooting bidet thing, right? So if you know that if you go to Japan, if you sit on toilet, it has something like this. It has a remote control device. You're on a very modern toilet, you push a button, the water goes up your ass. All right, and I happen to have a device like that here. So today I'm going to show you the latest in toilet technology. All right, this is the modern 21st century iteration of the toilet. And I have the best here, and I'm going to show you what is, of course, after you finish taking a poop, you press this button. And, you're aware of that. You know how that works. And then after that, I have a lot of options. I can shoot it in the front, I can shoot it in the back, and I can pulsate. Let me show you. Let's say I want to do front, okay? So the toilet is preparing itself to shoot water up to the front. I'm talking about the front of my asshole, right? Oh, the water is coming out. Oh yeah. Oh, Jesus. Oh yeah. And I don't know how it can find my anus because it's actually right on the front of my anus. I think there's actually a camera inside this toilet, and it's actually using AI technology to figure out where my anus is, and it's aiming the jet at my anus, right? Well, I think the front of my anus is pretty clean now. So there's another button here that I can push. And in fact, I can control the temperature of the water. Oh, and I can control the intensity. I say, I want a stronger jet. I want a stronger jet. I want hotter water. I want stronger jet and hotter water. Yeah, baby. Oh. I mean, who knew like a jet of strong hot water shot up your ass could feel so good. Oh, I could sit here all day, man. I could like sit here and just enjoy this. No wonder people like rim jobs, right? I mean, I knew that already, but there are some of the basic human needs. When fulfilled, you are happy. Like you need to eat, you need to fuck, and you need to shit, and this is it. you're shitting, and then the sensation of your anus being stimulated. I mean, like, it feels good. What can I say, right? Anyhow, I can control the water, the intensity and the temperature, and in fact, I can pulsate. So now it's like shooting water hard and soft, like it's like changing the frequency, right? And then it's like, it's actually so good. I can also oscillate. It's like, now the water jet is like this. Now it's like going around the rim of my ass. It's like, it's really like getting a rim job. If you don't know what a rim job is, Google it. And I'm sure my translator will Google that, and he'll be like, whoa, I didn't know that existed.
Oh, dear God.
What the heck is a rim job?
Oh, why, that's when you put your legs behind your head and have someone lick your ass.
Right? Yes, it's exactly like a rim job. So you have water shooting up your ass, and the water is like circling around your anus. It feels really, really good, right? And I can attest that this actually cleans your butt better than toilet paper. Your butt is absolutely clean after this. After this, I can deodorize. It's gonna actually shoot perfume up my ass. So my ass will smell so good. It will shoot perfume up my ass. And after that, I go into dry mode, right? So basically, it will shine heat up my ass so that it'll dry up all the water, and my ass will be dry and clean. So that could be 20 minutes. You could be sitting here, enjoying this, getting your ass clean, all of that in 20 minutes. So that is the latest ass cleaning and toilet technology in the modern day. Take fucking action, get one of these, and don't be a fucktard. Okay.